Yeah, I don't know who the hell Jonathan Mingo is. If it's Barkevius' little brother, if it's the second coming of Jerry Rice, I don't know. I've never heard of him because nobody's watched the Carolina Panthers in the last 3 years. And the Cowboys today on deadline day decided to make a bunch of noise and trade for the fifth best receiver on the Carolina Panthers, giving up more compensation than the Carolina Panthers received for trading away their best receiver. They gave up more compensation than the Chiefs had to give up to get a Hall of Famer in DeAndre Hopkins. Gave up more compensation than we got back in return for trading away an All-Pro in his prime in Amari Cooper. And then on top of that, we say we need a receiver, we need receiver help, we need a new team in Dallas. The whole structure of the foundation is cracked and sloppy and slopey and has been for 30 years. You need to blow it all up. You try to build a house on a poor foundation, and you've been doing that for 30 years. The 20 of the last 24 Super Bowls have had first round draft picks at quarterback in those games. 20 of the last 24. The last time the Dallas Cowboys have drafted a quarterback in the first round was 1989 and Troy Aikman. That's the last quarterback to win Super Bowls for the Cowboys or to even sniff a Super Bowl for the Cowboys. There's a clear formula to winning championships that we've ignored for 30 years. We haven't been able to stop the run since I was a little kid and Bill Parcells was on the sideline. We haven't addressed the interior defensive line. We have a bad offensive line. We have bad coaching staff. We have bad special teams. We're sloppy. Is the receiver is Jonathan Mingo with the upside that they tell me that he has going to come in and stop the Dallas Cowboys from getting false starts every drive? Is it going to stop the pre-snap issues? Is it going to stop fat-ass Mike McCarthy from getting fat brain and calling a fake punt at the worst time and the worst fake punt you've ever seen called in your life? I've never seen a punter throw a fade in the middle of the field to a defensive back that's really just on the team for special teams. Until all of those problems get fixed, the Cowboys should not be buyers at the trade deadline. They should be sellers. I would trade Micah Parsons and his podcast buddy Trayvon Diggs to the Canadian Football League. They could go podcast in Saskatchewan. I would trade your right tackle to fucking Mars, blast him to the moon, give him away for a pack of Skittles, and restart. Keep the guys on your team like CeeDee Lamb, Deron Bland, DeMarvion Overshown, and build around Brandon Aubrey. Because nothing else on this team is correct. You got a quarterback that's made $500 million in the last 8 years, and he hasn't sniffed a championship. He's mid. He's not elite in accuracy. He's not elite at the line of scrimmage. He has mid-arm strength, and his athleticism is about as good as mine and Buddha is right now. And then we're paying him $500 million. He's on every commercial. We're the most valuable franchise in all of sports, and we're the most laughed at franchise in all of sports. Until something happens, until people maybe die and there's a shift in power in Dallas, or until there's an earthquake or an absolute disaster, until we get humiliated at every home game this regular season, I don't see anything that changes. You have to go back before you can go forward. We're going to have to change the way we operate. Maybe get an elite quarterback in the first round. Maybe build from the inside out. Stop the run before you start adding receivers and weapons to the offense. Screw Ashton Genty. I don't want to hear any other names. I want a franchise certified first round quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys. I want a real coach and a real coaching staff. I want a real defense, not a fugazi one that beats up on middle of the road teams and below par teams. I want a real general manager with the Dallas Cowboys. Until then, this franchise is cockamamie. It's a joke. It's fugazi, and it's nothing but a money pit for idiots like myself that show up every single year to watch this team. The Cowboys are a joke, and they're done and dead to me until something changes.